microfiche and punch cards. And so that's one impact, for example.
Mark?
Yeah, I think it doesn't change things a whole lot in the sense that as an independent federal regulator, I mean, what exactly do you mean by independent? Well, we've always been subject to Congress. I mean, that's the way our Constitution's set up. Article 1, the legislative branch. We've always been subject to judicial review of one way. And there was a judicial doctrine, Chevron, that was out there, which at least at one point would say that if the law was ambiguous, then the courts should defer to the interpretation of the administrative agency. We have always, in all of our rulemaking, both when Chevron was in effect and now I anticipate going forward afterwards, we need to describe what is our statutory authority, because ultimately that is our foundation. Congress has to authorize us to do something. So do we have the statutory authorization, and are we acting in a rational manner, meaning, or in legal speak, not being arbitrary and capricious, which means we need to explain what we're doing and why we're doing.
Quote, the SEC is being arbitrary and capricious.
Which, in my view, that regardless of what the Supreme Court decisions expressly say, that's just, I think, a matter of good government. When the government takes actions, we're acting with the full authority, weight, and power of the sovereign, so to speak. So we ought to be able to articulate what we're doing and why we're doing that. And as what the decision of Bright said, the courts should be looking at that reasoning. And if it makes sense to them as a reasonable exercise of our authority, then to uphold that under what's called Skidmore review.
And when you think about all of the cases in administrative law, and particularly the Administrative Procedure Act against both of our agencies, where the agencies tend to lose on the arbitrary and capricious violation is because we have failed to show our work.
Quote, the SEC is being arbitrary and capricious.
As Commissioner Yeda has just explained. And so everybody in this room, particularly the current students, should know that you have to be able to show your work. And if you cannot, then why should somebody believe or defer to what you have come up with?
Yeah, so show your work in the real world and in the classroom.